Welcome back. This is Friday Fuel, and this is our mini-series, Answer Me This. This whole series came about out of the journaling exercises that I was completing. In 2020, I needed to start writing stuff down, start trying to understand my fatherhood story, but importantly, try to understand where I'd been, what impacted the man I'd become, and ultimately the father I knew my kids needed to have. The problem with a lot of the journaling that I was doing was it became repetitive. I got a bit stagnant and I wanted to try something different. I wanted to go a little deeper, push myself and answer some of the questions perhaps we don't always answer as dads. Those questions that make us feel a bit uncomfortable, those questions that make us lift that rock, check out what's underneath and really dig deeper. This series is designed to help you discover more about yourself, the role that you want to play, the impact that you want to have, and the influence that you want to lead with. It's also designed as a reflection exercise. It's there to help you understand what's stopping you giving them what they need in the moment, giving them what they need in the moment. So, let's get started. The question that hit me hardest, it wasn't about work or goals or legacy. It was this: are you leading your family or am I just existing in it? That was the gut punch. And this week, we follow up on our last episode. On a personal level, I know I needed to dig a little deeper, but I also wanted to come back having reflected. So here's the dig. What would it look like for your kids to truly know who you're becoming? Not just dad worked hard or dad built a business. Who you are at your core, what you value, what you stand for, how you respond under fire. What would it look like for them to say, I know what my dad believes in. I know what he's fighting for. I know what kind of man I want to be because of him. Let that sit for a minute. Grab some paper, pause, and then write it all down. We all need to start somewhere. This is your chance to push yourself. I needed to look at it like this. What kind of man do I want Henry and Max to become? What do I hope they say about me when they're 18, maybe 25, even 40? And if I keep pushing and stay distracted and reactive, how will that shape who they become? It's not about financial stability or even life experiences. This is about your character, your mentality, the man you are in front of them. I know what I want. I want my boys to become better, more confident, more resilient, more adventurous, more passionate, and more inquisitive versions of me. I want them to love deeply, live in the moment, and build a healthy, happy life. But above all else, I don't want them to be confined by systems, rules and structure. I want them to find what makes them tick and follow it. I don't want them to be conservative. I want them to stand tall and always trust their instincts and their judgment. I want them to jump in two-footed into adventure and rise above setback and failure. I want them to see the world as a place for opportunities. And I want them, above everything else, to find happiness. I want them to realise that happiness isn't about stuff. It's about pursuing the things that you enjoy and are rooted in your passions. Money obviously unlocks opportunities, but it doesn't buy happiness. At 18, 25 or even 40, all I want them to say about me is they always knew I had their back and was there to help them achieve their dreams, and that I never overstepped the mark or try to stifle who they were. If I stayed where I was in 2020, would they say that I helped them unlock their dreams and gave them the strength and confidence to live life on their terms? No. I think they'd still respond positively, but I'm not sure the role model they needed was on hand to help them see what life is all about. So before we move on, what do you want for your kids? So you need to be clear on this, because you can't meet their fundamental needs if you're not clear on your role and the impact that you need to have. Look, if you're prepared to do so, share, DM me, drop a comment below, like and subscribe to the podcast and our YouTube channel. And one last thing, why not join the Modern Fatherhood Club and get the support that you need? Now, here's the honest truth. I looked at these same questions. I wrote my answers down and I tried to evolve with them as the boys get older. But some days I'm showing up strong and some days, like many, I'm just getting by. I'm reacting to work, to stress, to the mood, to logistics. And when I'm in that mode, I'm not giving them what they need because I'm buried under the pressure. And this is why these questions are so important. Take a look around next time you're out and about. Look at all the parents around you. Are we leading by intention? Are we creating space for our children? Are we hoping that our children become better versions of us? Or have we lost hope, direction and desire to shape their future? I believe that the gap between the dad you are and the role model they need, that's the spark. That is the ignition point. You need to know who you are and what you stand for to be able to lead them. They can't become better without the right tools, values and beliefs. If you're like me, you want them to be freer, more inquisitive, more resilient, more joyful than you ever felt or were allowed to be. You want them to see that success isn't about ticking boxes, it's answering your own questions. Happiness isn't having more, it's being more alive, more present and more aligned. And you want to be the quiet fire behind their courage, not the force shaping them, but the foundation that they can leap from. But if you're drained of resources and lacking the energy to lead, if you keep leading with exhaustion and showing up in survival mode, what is it that you're actually going to teach them? What are they going to learn from you? And if you flip it on its head, if you made the radical, non-negotiable decision to align your life with the values that truly matter, and that you prioritise freedom, passion, adventure, emotional truth, what would they see? Not someday, not when things calm down, but what would they see right now if you made those changes? What would you need to do differently to show your kids, not tell them, but show them the man that you're becoming? I only say this because you can't pass on what you don't live. They don't need a perfect dad, they need a present one, a growing one, a free one. So ask yourself, what shifts this week? See, once I was back on track, clear of sight and mind, and tuned in to what they needed, then I could get out of their way. Because they don't need more stuff, they need more me. Not the stressed out, spread thin version, the present, tuned in, joy-focused dad. I'm going to let you into a secret. Here's what I fear most. The outside world will break them down, restrict them to a path well travelled, one where they learn to conform. If I don't show up and I don't highlight those things that matter and lead by example, they'll fight for a while, but eventually they'll fall into line. Where does that lead them? I'm not looking for them to set the world alight, just burn bright, live free and live happy. But for them to realise their potential, they need a leader. I needed to change my behaviour, prioritise what was important, make space for them and my wife, and I needed to live aligned to the values that were important to me. My friend, they cannot become better versions of themselves and better versions of us if we're not prepared to do the work. Subtle shifts made all the difference. See, it's never been about outshining everyone around me. It's about commitment to a cause that enables me to add value to them and know that I contributed to their success, my partner's success, and our collective success. You have a choice. Fall in line, be passive, erode your own confidence, live like the rest, or step up, step out, and lead them to a brighter, clearer future. And here's the simple fixes that make a massive difference. cutting dead time, scrolling any social media, listening to the news, reading the news. Read something you enjoy that makes you smile or that helps you grow. Protect sacred time, the school run, bath time, bedtime. Your phone is your prison and it will become theirs too. So disconnect in their presence. Lock it away. Leave it in the other room. Build structure into bedtime. Family reflections, a story, a moment to wind down. This has been a game changer. It's those last moments before bed where you have your greatest impact. Just an FYI, bedtimes will always be tricky, but it's how you show up in the heat of the battle that's going to matter. Have mental connection with your partner, not just logistics, but love, spending time together, scheduling time to just be you and her. You've got to shift from surviving the week to building memories inside it. This is what we all need, a moment when we're truly focused on what truly matters. You see, I have this vision. If my boys remember one thing, I want it to be this. Dad always had time for me. Not because he had loads of free time, but because he chose to be there when it mattered. And that will be my greatest success. Not what they do or what I do, but who they become. And I play a massive part in who they become. Their confidence, strength, how they respond under pressure and who they find love with. Remember, inner confidence and strength is built, but first they need to be able to model it, see it, appreciate it, and understand it. Success this week isn't another meeting ticked off or a project moved forward. Success is laughter, story time, stillness, being seen and choosing to see them fully. Remember, you're building something most men never get around to doing. A blueprint for modern fatherhood that's real, raw, and rooted in love. Be clear on what they need. Choose love, laughter, joy, and live aligned to your values and be clear on what's upsetting the balance and stopping you leading by example. And importantly, leading on the front foot. Fatherhood is a journey. We always learn as we go, but leading with intention and clarity, well, that sets you apart from the rest and creates this bond between you and your children that I'm sure will last a lifetime. You owe it to them and to yourself to get it done. Your role is to know when to disconnect and just be. Your role is to give them what they need in the moment. Your role is to understand what creates conflict so that you can set it aside, so that you can focus on them in those moments that really matter. Carving out time for them where they see the best version of you has a greater impact at home than it does in the outside world. Every day, wherever they are, whatever they're doing, they're being shaped by what they see. Your willingness to disconnect on a daily basis and give them those moments that matter is what sets you apart. It sets the tone in the home. It shows them what true leadership is about, what a man and a dad is about. Your identity shifted the day that you became a dad. We must reset. We must take a moment to reflect on the role that we played, the role that our father played in our lives, so that we can take a moment to unpick anything that's holding us back, so they see the true, authentic version of us, that version of us that shows up and delivers when it matters most. It's not about what you have, it's about what you give. Give them what they need today. Let them see the real you. Let them see the dad who loves, who wears his heart on his sleeve, who gives them what they need in those moments that matter. Bedtime, bath time, story time, even if you're just curled up on the sofa watching TV. Make space. Connect. But before you do, consciously and with intention, disconnect from the outside world, because that will make all the difference to them. As always, I'm Aidan. This is Answer Me This, a series dedicated to pushing you to go deeper on your fatherhood story. Remember, our resources are all available at themodernfatherhoodclub.com, and our guide to avoiding burnout and focusing on the right things is available now for free. And for those of you willing to step up and elevate your fatherhood story and become truly present, the new Dad Recharge is available right now for £49. And we're throwing in Fatherhood Unleashed, designed to keep you honest, accountable, and focused on your impact. As always, you can answer along to the questions in this episode with the PDF that's downloadable in the description. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Aidan, and I'll see you soon.